The killer played an old song on the radio and then started chopping the dead body of a young girl. This happened around 2005. In those days, a lot of children started going missing one after the other from Sector 36 in New Delhi. What happened to them? Knowing this true incident will make your heart sink. The servant Prem was lying down and watching the TV show Who Wants to Become a Millionaire. He himself had tried many times to go on this program, but his luck never shined. Just then, the phone rang. It was his wife. He had a wife and a 6-year-old daughter in the village, whose expenses he had to bear. Prem was working in Delhi. The owner of the mansion had gone to attend his granddaughter's birthday. He will return by Sunday. Till then, Prem's work is done here. Anyway, his owner treats him like his own son. Telling all this to his wife, he reached the top floor of the mansion. He loved his family a lot. That's why he had put up their photos in his bedroom and workplace. After hanging up, he played a song by Lata Ji. At midnight, he went to the bathroom sharpening the knife, and then as soon as he turned on the light to our surprise, there was a dead body of a young girl lying inside. It was evident from her dress that she was a student. Prem took off her shoes, then her clothes, and started cutting her body with a knife. The next morning, we see Inspector Ramcharan Pandey. His father and mother had passed away. He had a wife and a daughter in the family. Like every day, he performed puja. Then he left venue in the school car and went to his duty. The system of bribery into the police station was already in place. Pandey Ji was also not deprived of it because, according to him, whoever raises his voice against the system will be the biggest fool. A middle-aged man has come to him to lodge an FIR about his daughter's disappearance. He was crying in pain of his daughter's separation and was in a very bad state. But Pandey Ji was not affected at all. Leave the FIR aside. They did not even register a report on it. He just gave some money to the man. Then he made him hang his daughter's poster and leave, telling him that his daughter is 15 years old and will return in 2-3 days after roaming around. Right next to Sector 36 was Rajiv Camp, where some poor people lived in slums. There was a small playground where children used to play cricket every day. While playing, their ball went into the drain. A boy named Ali went to take the ball out and saw that a severed hand was lying in the drain. Pandey Ji reached there as soon as he got the information. After thinking for a while, he told that this hand looks like a monkey's. Not only this drain is coming from Jeel Mill. It must have come from there. Prem's master's mansion was near the drain, the same person who was chopping the young girl at night. He was not afraid at all, even after seeing the police, as if he had an agreement with the police. Pandey Ji honored Ali by giving him some money to show his alertness and took the matter to court. After settling the matter, they left. That very night, Ali was sitting at his home and watching Kaun Banega Crorepati. His father returned from duty but forgot to bring eggs. Ali took the money and went to bring the eggs. Prem was waiting in ambush. Seeing Ali alone, he called him on the pretext of giving him chocolates and took him away. He was a very cruel man. There was a reason behind this. When he was of Ali's age, he used to live at his maternal uncle's house. His maternal uncle's intentions were not good. He used to force himself on him. This was a daily routine. Every day in broad daylight, his maternal uncle's mind got distracted. He immediately pulled down the shutter of the shop. He turned on the radio and turned up the volume. Then who knows which song was playing? Why did you get distracted? This time, Prem got out of control at midnight, and he killed and then minced his uncle. Since then, he has been chopping people. Just then, the mobile rang. This call was made by Chote Lal. Prem immediately took out the box from the fridge and took it and handed it over to Chote Lal. From here, it was Chote Lal's job to deliver this organ at night when all the people in the neighborhood would sleep. When the fire got closed, Prem used to pack the chopped pieces of the body in polythene bags and throw them in the gutter. Perhaps his masters were also going to come tomorrow. That is why he quickly removed his family's photo and put their photo back. From this, it can be assumed that Prem wanted a similar bungalow and comfort for his family. Otherwise, why would a servant wear his master's clothes in his absence? The next morning, we see Prem's master Balveer. Today was his granddaughter's birthday, which they were celebrating with great pomp and show. Then Prem called from Delhi and told that this week the supply could not be as much as the demand was. We will try again next week. In response, Balveer said that he is coming tomorrow evening. Call Chumki. That evening, we will see Chumki and her parents. This Bengali family lived here on rent. These days, the festival of Durga Puja was going on. Both father and daughter immediately reached the arti. Prem was dancing to the tune of arti in a drunken state. All the people he had killed till date, their faces were dancing in his mind one by one. After a while, he called Chumki and told her that boss is coming. You will be called to the mansion tomorrow evening. Today is the last day of Ramlila. Pandey Ji very delicately made his daughter wear a sari and took his family to Ramlila ground. The gentleman was also interested in playing Ramlila. It's a religious stage performance. Prem had also come and wore the mask of Ravana lying on the ground and started looking around in search of his prey. His partner Chotilal was standing outside Ramlila ground with an ambulance. The Ramlila was also on the verge of ending. In this last scene, Pandey Ji was dressed as Ravana, and his two constables Pathak and Jairam were dressed as Ram and Sita. Meanwhile, Chumki's father came to make a request. His daughter Chumki was missing for 4 days. He had gone to the police station during the day to file a report, but his daughter was not heard of. Pandey Ji assured that his daughter would be found by tomorrow, but he got angry at Pandey Ji and said that, even if it was your daughter, you would have said the same thing. Pandey Ji immediately turned away. He could not tolerate such things for his daughter at all. He got extremely mad at Chumki's father. In this mood, Ramlila was not going to happen. His wife asked, why was his so furious? In the course of conversation, Pandey Ji remembered his daughter who had gone to the toilet after informing her mother. Prem HSD caught her, made her unconscious, and took her on his shoulder and left. Thank God that Pandey saw him just in time, otherwise a disaster would have happened. Seeing Pandey coming towards him, Prem threw Vedu on the ground and ran away. Pathak immediately took Vedu and put her in the ambulance standing nearby and ran towards the hospital, while Pandey himself had started chasing the masked man. When it came to his daughter, Pandey Ji got nervous. He started chasing the masked man as if someone had set him on fire by pouring petrol behind him. He chased him for a long time and challenged him till his last breath. But finally, the masked man escaped from his grasp. When they reached the hospital after failing, his wife did not even let him touch his daughter. If he cannot handle his own daughter, how will he handle others' daughters? She wanted the one who touched his daughter to be in jail at any cost. Pandey Ji's body changed in a moment. Now he came to know what the real pain of losing a daughter is. On the other hand, Chotilal was very angry with Prem, because today he had laid his hands on the daughter of a sub-inspector. Prem had no idea whose daughter she was. Anyway, today he narrowly escaped. He immediately went upstairs and took out a cassette from the cupboard from the pile of cassettes on which Sada Bahar Tarane was written. He called his wife and told her that he was sending something which she should keep safely. That very night, Pandey Ji met Chumki's father and called him to the police station tomorrow morning to register an FIR. The next morning, the FIR was registered. Chumki was dropped outside house number B5 by her rickshaw driver on 9th October. Since then, she was missing. That rickshaw was Chumki's fixed rickshaw, and she used to travel by that. After taking all the accounts, Pandey Ji reached B5 bungalow. Prem was surprised to see him, but Pandey Ji had come to meet his owner, not for him. Little did they know that the masked man that night was Prem. The bungalow owner, Vashi Sahab, heard Pandey Ji's entire story, but he clearly stated that Chumki had come to his house on 9th October. He started telling that he knows Pandey Ji's boss, DSP Jawahar Ratoji, is his childhood friend. During the conversation, Chumki's father entered the house and started accusing that his boss was behind Chumki's disappearance. He ruined Chumki's life. He is a rapist. Vashi Sahab immediately got angry, saying that he is sending his daughter here and making her do prostitution, and on the contrary, he is accusing me of rape. The truth is that in exchange for sending Chumki here, her father used to take rupees, 3,000 per month from Vashi Sahab. At the time of filing the FIR, he had told Pandeyji that his daughter worked as a secretary for Vashi Sahab. On asking, he said that she is my daughter. I can make her do anything. What do you want from her? Pandeyji could not stop himself from slapping Chumki's father. In the meantime, Vashi Sahab had called his friend, DSP Rato, the person to ask him for favor. The questions he had come with remained incomplete. Prem was also enjoying himself by roaming around on police's helplessness. When they returned to the police station, the DSP also scolded him. But Pandeyji knew that the rickshaw puller knows that Chumi has disappeared from Vashi's place. He had left him at his house. If the rickshaw puller's SIM is traced, it will be confirmed that he had gone to B5 on 9th October. DSP then told him to do whatever he wanted to do, but Balveer's name should not come up in this. Pandeyji came to his cabin with a sad face. Pathak caught hold of the rickshaw puller and made him sit so that his SIM could be traced, but he did not get permission. In this case, big people were involved. He was about to give up and leave the rickshaw puller when Pathak Ji saw the rickshaw puller's phone. They started probing and found out that the messages, dials, missed calls were all deleted. Moreover, Pandeyji suspected something from the phone's settings. He immediately took the rickshaw puller on remand and made him reveal everything. He told them that the missing girl was a call girl and this rickshaw puller used to drop and pick up Chumki from whichever client she had to go to. That night, 2 hours after dropping her at Vashi Sahab's house, when he went to pick up Chumki, he found his servant Prem at the door. He gave him Chumki's mobile and told him to take it and throw it near Sahadra railway station, and if anyone asks about Chumki, tell them that she dropped her Sahadra railway station. The rickshaw puller got greedy and kept the mobile with himself instead of throwing it away. If they arrest Prem and take him on remand, then everything will come out. DSP Rastogi immediately got angry. He said, "I had told you to let this case go, but no." At the same moment, Pandeyji's suspension letter was typed, and he was suspended for a few weeks. It is not easy for anyone to continue walking on the path of truth. After a few weeks, Pandeyji was hiding near Vashi's house. He was secretly working on this case. Vashi's servant Prem was talking to Chote Lal. That very night, it was revealed that pornographic films were also made in Vashi's house. Did he make these films as a hobby or to sell them? Who knows what was his intention behind it? Today was the last night of Pandeyji's suspension. He was to join duty from the next day. In this connection, he met Pathak. A discussion was held on what had happened in all these days. It was revealed that DSP Rastogi had been promoted. A new DSP was to come in his place, meaning it was good for Pandey. Then he saw the ambulance man who had taken Vedu to the hospital that night. Pathak immediately recognized him. This man has been meeting Prem for the last several weeks. Pandeyji immediately realized that the ambulance was there to kidnap the children that night, but his plan failed. He reached the hospital that night, and as soon as he got a chance, he caught hold of the compounder. He had also made arrangements to take him out of the hospital, so there was no problem. He was taken to a secret place and beaten up badly. He stopped speaking when he saw the policeman in front. Pandeyji told that the girl he picked up on the day of Dussehra was his daughter. Chote Lal was already nervous and immediately told that it was Prem. Next morning, DSP Bhupendra had come to take charge. The same Ragi Sahab's fleet had left from here. Meanwhile, Pandeyji also reached, and then it was known that DSP Bhupendra had not even joined yet, even before that Pandeyji had talked to him this morning on some case. He left from here immediately and called his friend and warned him that Pandey is not going to stop. He will have to make arrangements for him. DSP also lured Constable Shravan Kumar with promotion by taking his side. From here, the story went to Jhajjar in Haryana, the stronghold of wrestlers. It was found out that this was the 10th transfer of Bhupendra Ji. He was also an honest police officer. That is why he kept getting transferred. On the other hand, the wrestlers reached the base where the compounder Chote Lal was kept hostage. They fearlessly attacked him on the head and disappeared. As soon as they left, Pandey Ji went inside with the new DSP and found out that he had disappeared. Actually, it was all Pathak's fault. He had left him and had gone to the other side of the fort to eat. Pandey Ji, in anger, beat up Pathak with sesame seeds. He only had Chumki's mobile with which he could do something. On the night of 4th November, the police arrested Prem, the servant of Vashi Sahab. As soon as Pandey Ji arrived, he fell at his feet. He had kidnapped their daughter by mistake. When the interrogation began, Prem started blabbering everything because he had full faith in Vashi Sahab. How Pandey Ji was stunned by his one phone call. He was proud of it. When Pandey asked him why he killed Chumki, he said, "The thing is, that night Prem wanted to get intimate with her. He called her on the pretext of a customer. He was giving money also, but she started throwing tantrums by calling him a servant and started abusing him. When his own maternal uncle used to misbehave with him, he killed him and chewed his liver raw. He fed the pieces to the dogs and ate it himself. So who was this Chumki to him? A nobody. Now he is not a servant. He is his master's son. He got angry and strangled her. He cut her body into pieces and ate some of it. He cooked some and threw the rest in the drain. He sold her kidney to the compounder. DSP and Pandey were listening to him in shock. You are the one behind the children who have going missing in the city. You along with this compounder are running this business. Prem knew the work of butcher since childhood when he cooked and ate his maternal uncle. Since then, he started craving for human meat. Somehow, he was able to stop himself for a year, but the craving for human meat did not go away. Later, he came to know that along with eating human meat, money can be earned by selling their organs. Since then, he got involved in that business. He said, "I don't know about all the children who have disappeared in the city. He has kidnapped and killed about 20 to 25 children till now. They were beaten and ill-treated, thrown in the gutter, sold to the organ compound." Pandey could not control himself, but they had surrounded him now. Now only the last question remained. Does his owner Balveer Singh Vashi have a hand in all this too? He immediately blurted out, meaning he was made to memorize all this like a parrot to take all the blame on himself. Till now, the wrestlers have cut the compounder's body into pieces and put it in a polythene bag. They filled the body with water and threw it into the hotel's roti-making oven. You can identify Chote Lal compounder by his nails. The next morning, Prem took out Chumki's head and purse from where it was buried and showed it. In the same drain, countless polythene bags and countless human skulls, bones were found. This news spread like wildfire, which we had heard in our childhood as Nithari case. Seeing those skulls, the parents of the missing children must be thinking which skull could be of their child. It was a very horrifying scene at Balveer Singh's mansion. Investigation was done, and in a few days he was also caught by the police. Both of them were sent to Tihar jail. Even after all this, Vashi's case was going smoothly. He was getting special treatment because he was in collusion with Jawahar. Jawahar even gave a statement on the news channel that Balveer Singh's hand is not involved in all this. His servant has done all this. What is the use of so much hard work if the main culprit escapes? Pandey Ji requested the DSP and fixed a meeting with Prem. He went to meet him in jail the next day and asked Prem how he used to transfer the money earned from organ trafficking to the village. Actually, Prem used to get the money couriered to the village in installments through Chote Lal. When he came to know that the compounder has disappeared and his father was behind his disappearance, and not even a single penny reached his house because his father fooled him. Prem was shocked and even started murmuring that it's all a lie. Papa G will take me out of here. Pandey explained it well that his father was responsible for everything. The allegations have been put on him. He has testified in the court that he was mostly on business trips. He was unaware of what his servant was doing at home. Finally, the fool came to his senses and mentioned about the song Sada Bahar. Pandey got a laptop arranged from Pathak that very night and left for the village. Pathak was worried about him and wanted to go with him, but Pandey G did not want to drag him into all this, so he caught a bus and left alone. Next morning, he reached the village and met Prem's wife. Whatever was being said in the news, no human being can do that. That is why Prem's wife was still living in the illusion that everyone was lying about Prem. She asked for the cassette that Prem had sent, and when he played it, all the secrets of Vashi came out. After waiting for hours on the road with the cassette, a black-colored SUV was seen coming. Seeing Pandey, he gave him a lift. The Bolero driver had also lost his way. Pandey asked for the address. When the wrestler showed the address, he was stunned. Pandey G realized something the very next moment. They caught him, his chest was pierced with a screwdriver, then his throat was slit. The cassette was also broken. In this way, the truth was strangled. 6 months later, we see the same Rajiv Camp police station. Pandey G went to search for the missing children. In the end, he himself was caught. The Pathak here has now become a sub-inspector. I was shocked to see his full name. That day when DSP Jawahar Rastogi was leaving Rajiv Camp police station, the Shravan he called on the phone was Shravan Kumar Pathak. He betrayed Pandey G in greed for promotion. Otherwise, how did those wrestlers from Haryana get to know the compounder's location? He must have also told Jawahar Rastogi that Pandey has left for Prem's village. After a year, he has now become a sub-inspector. One day, a news was published that 3 people have been arrested in the case of Sub-Inspector Pandey, who was missing for a year. Someone knocked on the door of friend Jayaram, someone had left a box and went away, a cassette was found in it, on which was written Aur Bhi Sada Bahar Taraane. The movie ends here. How did you like this painful story? Do tell us your opinion in the comment box, and if possible, do give a like to boost our morale.